everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Deep Thoughts. And today we are talking about Fruits Basket, episode 15. I wouldn't say that. I'm not saying I wouldn't say that. I'm saying that that's the title of the episode. I wouldn't say that. And before we start, I should quickly establish something. If you guys watch all of my videos, I'm pretty sure, I don't think everybody watches every single one of my videos, but if you do, I'm sorry, you're probably sick of hearing this. But by the time you guys see this, I will actually be just coming back from a trip. I went to a different city with my family, so I'm gone I will have left Saturday, and I will have come back, I believe, today. I'm pretty sure Fruits Basket is the last video I'm working on. Long story short, I had to work on 5 videos back to back, so I apologize if this isn't quite up to snuff in terms of quality that I normally do. I think it should be okay. But it won't be as editing intensive, and I kind of changed up the format a little bit to make it a little easier on myself. So I'm not going from the top of the episode to the bottom. I'm just kind of giving you my positive thoughts and my negative thoughts, and then just kind of quickly summing up my thoughts on the show. You could check out the second episode of Dr. Stone. I kind of go into more detail there, but without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about Fruits Basket episode 15. Now, as I have been doing with these videos, I'm going to start with my more positive thoughts and kind of work my way down. I do have some negative thoughts on this week's episode, like one negative thought, I think, and then just some general stuff worth noting, and then I'll wrap up my thoughts. So let's go ahead and start with the good. I think that taking a trip now, obviously while it is a ploy on Shigure's end, his poor editor, that poor girl, he just likes to pick on her. I also think it's good to have a break from the norm that has become the show. While I obviously love the show, I do think that we've been at the Soma house for so long that visiting the cabin is actually a good change of pace. Changing up the scenery every so often genuinely does shake up a series, even if it is just a little bit. And I feel like because we're already so glued into Fruits Basket, we didn't need a big shakeup, just a quick change of scenery. Didn't need to be too much, didn't need to be too big of a deal, and I think they handled it pretty well, honestly. I really like the look of the cabin. I think the lake is friggin' phenomenal, no matter what Yuki and Kyo say. I think it's friggin' cool looking. And I don't know, I'm a big fan of the cabin look. If you know, my hipsteridom doesn't shine through enough, I like the wood finish look of the cabin. And I don't know, it was nice to have a change of the change of scenery was nice, especially given the general feel of the episode. Being at a cabin sort of makes a lot of sense. And it wasn't just because Shigure wanted to pick on his editor either. There is a good reason for why he's doing what he's doing, and it kind of goes to show that Shigure really can be a good dude. And it's good, man. I was like, look at my husbandos. Look at my husbandos being good people to each other. You got Hatori being a good dude. You got Shigure being an extra good dude. Like I was saying, Shigure really isn't just bringing them out to the cabin for the sake of being mean to his editor. He's bringing everybody out because he needed an excuse to get Hatori away from Kana's wedding, essentially. He didn't want him wallowing in his own thoughts. He wanted him somewhere nice, like a cabin, so he can get a lot of fresh air, so he can keep his mind off things. That's why Ayame shows up, and I was so happy to see Aya. I was like, oh, what up, boy? Ayame is a character who I thought I would kind of be annoyed with. As always, when it comes to Fruits Basket, I'm always sort of assuming I'm going to be sort of annoyed with certain characters, and then they end up totally winning me over. And Ayame is, again, another one of those characters. Hatori was another one of those characters as well. And Hatori, my god, my husbando. The battle for husbando is between Hatori and Shigure, because Hatori is such a good dude. Listening to him explain, it's that he is that Austin Powers song. I shouldn't say Austin Powers song. He is that Elvis Costello song where it's I'll never fall in love again. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up Elvis Costello, I'll never fall in love again. That song is straight up Hatori to a T. But at the same time, he's so aware that he's aware that Kyo, Toru, and Yuki are clearly in some sort of love triangle, and one clearly loves the other, and he wants to guide them so that they don't make the same mistakes that he does, that they have a better ending than he did. And he's a good dude, but I also like that, it just breaks my heart. It breaks my heart that Hatori feels that way. But it also shows what a good person he is by the fact that he's like I might be hurting, and I'll deal with that. And I don't think I'll ever love again, but I'm gonna help these kids figure stuff out. And it's oh, he's a good dude. But even Shigure says when Hatori's making fun of Ayame, saying he just doesn't get it, Shigure also has a great point where he's no, you also don't get it. You have your whole life ahead of you. You're gonna find somebody. And it's It just breaks my damn heart. Even though this episode was so much more relaxed than previous episodes have been, this one still managed to just break my heart, snap my heart like a dang Twix bar. That conversation outside the cabin with Hatori, Ayame, and Shigure just being friends, like that conversation was such a genuinely, like, you could tell how much they actually care about each other in that moment. Like, it's just a conversation outside the cabin. Like, they're just sitting on like the picnic bench thing, just like having tea, talking, and it's just like a conversation. But this show nails its dialogue so well. Like that scene of them just talking about how, like, and you see him like think of Toru when they mention like, you got to get over this, and he thinks of Toru because Toru, like, it's showing the effect that that Toru has on Hatori, that like it goes beyond just Kyo and Yuki. Like, she's genuinely affecting all of the Somas. And I think it's just, I don't know. I just friggin', it was such a genuinely good moment. And of course, it's kind of like bookended with Hatori, Ayame being kind of a total goofball. Ayame, he's trying, man. Like, Yuki, why can't you see that my boy is trying? He's trying to be an older brother. He's trying to be kind. You just gotta see. You just gotta open your eyes. He's trying. But I shouldn't say that the whole friggin' episode is hunky-dory. There's some stuff that does bug me. Namely, honestly, and this is the biggest thing that bugged me, and I feel weird saying this, but Kyo and Yuki really bothered me in this episode. I get it. I get why they're not saying what's on their mind. I mean, I don't get it, because I don't super know what they're like. I don't understand why whatever happened last episode happened. I know that Yuki had some memory with the hat that really kind of bothered him, and I know that Kyo said something that he apologized for something, and then we don't even know what it is. So like, I get it. They're feeling some kind of way, and looking at Toru reminds them of that feeling. But they had to have known Toru was going to react like that. And it's not necessarily like a bad writing or a bad characterization or a bad acting thing. It's just a personal thing for me that I was like, why? Like this show has done a good job at making the characters feel like themselves at all times. Like, it's very rarely do I feel like they step out of character. For this, I'm like, did you guys really not guess that Toru would feel some kind of way if you just kept being quiet and not looking at her or talking to her? And when you do, you're cryptic and vague. Toru thinks everything's her fault. Like, she loves everybody. She's super sweet. So of course, when they're ignoring her, she's gonna think that they're upset with her. So I was like, come on, boys, my boys. Like, it's not a bad writing thing. It's not a bad characterization thing. It was just me being a little being like, my boys, you know better than that. And also, can you please tell me what the hell is going on? I'm not gonna find out what the hell is going on. I feel like I'm not gonna find out for a while. I just accept this. I accept this, that's fine. Two things worth noting. I do wanna point out that there is a Wicked Friday the 13th reference in here, and it is hilarious. And there's also a twist that Shigure at some point dated their homeroom teacher, and I don't think any of them even know that. So that was kind of neat. With that said, though, everybody, I am going to wrap up this video here. Sorry if I was all over the place. I just recorded like 5 of these back to back, and I'm kind of stressed out, and I'm I don't know. By the time you see this, I will have returned from my trip, and the instant I get back, I have to work on more videos. Oh, yay. But I gotta do it, because, damn it, I love to do it. But before I go, I am going to wrap up my thoughts on this week's episode by saying it's definitely a chill episode. It's not as exciting as previous episodes, but it does have some really good characterization for Hatori, so I really appreciate that. Overall, I'd give this episode a pretty strong B+. B to a B+, somewhere in there, for sure. But with that said, everybody, that's going to do it for today's video. So if you enjoyed, by all means, hitting that like button and sharing the video around on the internet, why, that would be super rad of you. And if you're new here, by all means, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to join the good ones. And of course, before we go, I have to give a big shout out to the good folks over on Patreon, namely those in the Earl Grey tier: Dominic, Urza, No For Nothing, Maria Teresa, Omner Garamond, Opinionated Slime, Shadow Creative, Sipco Games, Tristan, and Veridin. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. It is super friggin' appreciated. I'm gonna go edit all 5 of these videos in one shot. God help me. By the time you guys see this, I will be back. So some welcome homes would be appreciated. And until our next meeting, you stay rad and don't scary.